Welcome back for another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Here we're continuing our KSO playthrough. Uh, Here we're going to use some Firespitter plane, pre-made plane, and we're actually going to go and scout out a new island uh, to set up a refueling station so that we can fly planes around the planet anywhere we want to go and be able to refuel them on the island, because you can't always carry enough fuel on a given plane. So we're going to go far out into the ocean and scout out a new island base, even though we won't have a great runway, because we can't build it. We just have to look for a nice, somewhat flat piece of land to try to land on. This is a bomber aircraft for Firespitter. It's a pre-made one. When you get the mod, there's some craft files. This is one of them. We have our two pilots and a little Bombay bombardier, which is Dunby Kerman is our bombardier. Tidmore and Daniel are pilots up there. In the upper left is, after this was completed, I tried to take my heavy lift aircraft and move a refueling truck and a light truck to the new place I'm about to scout out. So this is the upper left is the attempt to try to load up all the vehicles and fly them out, and it didn't go so well. There's a lot of issues with the plane being unstable as I tried to fly, and it had issues. So that's what's in the upper left. As you can see, that was the bomber position, bombardier position, the pilot position. The bombardier sits right down there in the lower section. Even though you don't see him when he's flying. Now, in the upper left is the first crash. The plane became unstable, just decided to go into a roll and smash it down into the ground. Alright, in the upper left is the second attempt to try to load up the vehicles and take off again. This bomber plane is pretty stable. It doesn't have a full fuel load, but it does get pretty good distance, and it's pretty okay. as you can see in the upper left, still having problems. I get off the runway after it goes a little sideways. Things seem to be going pretty good. Vehicles, or the one vehicle in the back, kind of slid a little bit and got wedged. It didn't quite stay locked in place. I'm trying to drive it and put it back in place, but it doesn't want to seem to move. And you can see the plane once again up on the left. It goes into a second spin. Stuff starts breaking inside, and it's going to plummet into the water. So here's the third attempt. Loading it up again and trying to see if I can do a different loading sequence and see if I can't get it to actually stay in the air. I might have to work on the balance of the plane with loaded. Coming around in the main window here, we're coming around the tip at the bottom. We're gonna start heading off out into the westerly area. In the upper left, we're having the crew member come down. We're actually gonna go hook up the try hooking up the hook some struts up in the back to try to get what I have to do. We didn't put them out and put them in the back in time, but I'm going to have to back the vehicle out so I can get my Kerbal path, so I can put struts in the back to see if I can't lock the vehicle in position. We're just adjusting our heading, kind of take us more westerly. In the upper left, we're now loading our fuel truck, and we'll put the struts behind it to try to lock it in place. On our bomber plane, we're just trying to get some altitude to get up there, and the plane got a little squirrely, but it didn't crash. I was able to save it. I do is I transfer some fuel from the front to the back to try to balance out the weight of the plane a little bit to keep it from wanting to go nose down. Here we are, another balance of the fuel, transfer some more fuel to the rear to try to keep the plane level. You can just barely see the little island right there that we're going to try to land on. And our heavy lift craft in the upper left is airborne. Everything's kind of staying in place. Here we're in the plane. We're transferring some fuel between the two tanks, trying to balance out. Tanks are even because it was kind of getting tail heavy. Everything in the heavy lifter plane seems to be staying in place, so things to me were looking good. You can see that that's the island we're going for right there, that little island right there. Everything was pretty good with the plane. We were easily gliding and getting out at higher altitude, but it was still started to get a little wobbly. It wasn't quite keeping steady. It kept wanting to turn right. It kept wanting to keep going to the right. As you can see, some of the cargo still did shift. Well, the vehicles did shift a little bit. And it was just creating a little bit of stability issue. I didn't want to go where I wanted to. I actually did go and actually drop 2 of the engines off of my design here. But you can see that the plane wants to keep turning, and it just doesn't want to go straight. In the main window up ahead, you see we're coming up on the island. to start decreasing our throttle and scout out a landing site on this island. It looks like the island is pretty flat. There's a few small hills, but it's not too bad. And the upper, in the left, you can see that that's the third crash. It just didn't want to fly straight. It kept going tail first and start spinning out, and it just didn't work out. So I'm going to continue to work on a cargo plane design that will work and be able to transport the stuff. This heavy lifter is just unstable for the cargo I want to stick in. And like I said, I'll try again in the future. Here we're getting ready to come in for a quick scouting attempt, and then we'll actually find a spot and land. You can see this land has a few rolling hills, this little island, but I did find a little stretch that is kind of relatively flat. That's not too rolling to be able to set up. You can see that we're kind of low on fuel, so this, if you were to fly this plane around the planet, you need at least 1 or 2 fueling stops to refuel it. Put it in chase camera as we look for our landing site. That could be a good spot. There's a little bit of this flat area up ahead here, which I felt was probably going to be the best here. We're flying right over right now. We're gonna swing left here and come around and try to land our plane here. And it was going pretty good, pretty good. Oh, the wheel rolled over. Everyone survived, but the plane didn't. So what we'll do, we'll get all of our Kerbals out, line them up for a little photo shot, and then call it an episode. I did go to have him go mark out the runway, the front and ends of the runway, so I know where the runway is when I finally be able to get a plane out here to set up my refueling station. And there are me Kerbals right there on the little island. I've cleaned up all the debris. There's our shot of our 3 Kerbals in the line. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune back in for future episodes. Please subscribe so you're alerted to any future episodes of the Kerbal Space Program.